Nigeria's longest surviving and oldest indigenous bank, engaged financial journalists on its half-year 2017 report and strategies for second half of the year and beyond. The Chief Financial Officer, Mr. Tunde Mabawonku, gave an overview of the market performance of the bank and the prospects ahead.
One of the things we said at the beginning of the year, for those that follow Wema, every January we set priorities. What are our priorities for the year? And then we track on a quarterly basis how well are we doing. So we put three things: excellence, expertise, efficiency. And we gave ourselves some KPI. For example, under excellence, we said, let's continue to renovate and refresh our branch network. So as you go to Wema Bank branches, you see the look and feel of a new generation branch. One of the areas we want to play a lot is in technology. So some of the branches, one of our neighbors next door has 777 branches. We have like 150. So in terms of branch network, we might not be able to compete. But in terms of technology, we can beat our chest to say we will lead the pack. For Wema Bank, one of our strategies is let's take a generational play and target the youth, the young entrepreneurs, and the young professionals. So you see us a lot in schools. You see us a lot in shopping malls, in institutions where we believe that we can get this target market. So this shows some campus tours that we did across the nation. Yes, you must do the physical, but as customers enter the banking hall, what type of service do they get? And we did some survey, and you won't believe it. What customers want is very simple. I want to put my ATM in the machine, and cash comes out. The cash comes out, I pick my receipt, I go. Not that I put my card does not come out, cash does not come out, I don't get alert, I don't get anything. I want to go to banking hall, I want to be served in 5 minutes, and I carry my transaction, I go. So less than 5% of customers do complex transactions. The 95% is just come in and go. And for us, a lot of emphasis is on building banking floor efficiency and rendering service. And you can see the improvement. We've moved from number 19 to number 8 within a space of 2 years, largely around what we call the purple rules. Some things on the financial performance of the bank. And it's important to show this slide because in the last 2 years, we've seen a number of banks take a hit. They've taken a hit in terms of their NPL. They've taken a hit in terms of growth in income. They've taken a hit in terms of impact of devaluation. But for us, in the last couple of years, Wema Bank has ensured some consistency. So first and foremost, what do you look for? Is the institution growing? Yes, gross earnings continue to grow at an average rate of 20-25%. Is profitability stable? Yes, PBT, full year last was 2.5 billion. This half year, we've done 1.2. And typically for banks, the first 6 months is always slower than the last 6 months, where you expect budgets will have been implemented, a lot of things being done. Deposits dropped a little, but remained above 250. NPL is one of the key concerns around the industry. We closed last year with NPL of 5.07%, lower than the industry average. Number of banks, 15, 16, 17. We did ours way below the traditional norm. As a half year, NPLs are down to 4.9%. Capital adequacy ratio, today we're on 12.71%. For a commercial bank with national authorization, capital adequacy is 10%. So we are still significantly above the regulatory threshold. So in terms of financial performance, year on year, despite the economic headwinds, we've been able to ensure two things: consistency and stability of earnings of the institution. In terms of next steps for the bank, like I mentioned earlier, is around three things: expertise, excellence, efficiency.
He shared the impact of the innovative Alert digital bank in the service delivery of the bank through technology.
One clear evidence has been the launch of Alert. And what this speaks to is a fully integrated end-to-end digital bank. Alert is not a mobile app. So indeed, we have the Wema Mobile today. So existing Wema Bank customers use mobile. But what Alert does is, from onboarding to using the account to transacting on business, you don't need human interaction. So you take your phone, you take a selfie, you put your signature on a piece of paper, you scan your signature, instantly your account is opened. You have your documents, your international passport or your utility bill, you scan it, you upload. Instantly, the account is ready to use. You choose where you want your debit card to be delivered to you. I work in Apapa, but there's traffic. Can they deliver my debit card to me in my house between 5 p.m. and 7 p.m.? Your debit card is delivered to you. Typically, for the other 25 banks in Nigeria, you get your debit card, you have to go to an ATM or a POS to activate your debit card. But for alert, on your phone, you can activate your debit card. So you don't have to go to any bank, you don't have to go to any resource to go and activate your card. So end to end, it is about digital. There is no manual or human. But if you perhaps you have complaints, challenges, then you call the contact center and they put you through on what needs to be done. So what that does is that you have the power on your hands. You don't need to be chasing, where's my account officer? I want to do this, I need to do this. Alert also goes further to incorporate some traditional Wema Bank things. For example, the card control application. If you lose your card today in the other 24 banks, you lose your debit card, they took it in BRT, it fell down when I was working. You call your bank, please help me deactivate my card. I've lost it, I'll come back to get a new one. But in Wema Bank, you don't need to do that. From your mobile app, you can decide where you want your card to work. So from your application, you can deactivate your card. If you know that you are going to Ghana tomorrow and you want your card to work in Ghana, you activate your card. I want this card to work only in Ghana. It should no longer work in Nigeria, so they cannot clone. Okay, I want my card to work only on ATMs, not on POS. You do it from your phone. I want my card to work only on POS, not on ATMs. So a lot of the tools we've pushed to consumers. And with that, it made life so much easier. It's made onboarding a lot easier. So for us, we've taken a stake that let's push retail, and let's push retail with a digital twist. Obviously, we expect competition to react and come up with some new products, but really by being ahead of the curve, we've seen a lot of opportunities. The alert now, the target is 1,000 accounts per day. At the last check, today is August 4. It's August 4. We've opened close to 50-something thousand accounts. So the target from this month is 1,000 accounts per day. So by the first 12 months of alert, we'll have done 350,000 new customers. Our customers love it. And the strategy for us is let's get them to use alert, and eventually, we don't even mind if they say alert is their second account. But then eventually, alert will be their better account. Alert will be their best account. Then alert will be their most used account.
Wema Bank's CFO speak further on the half-year 2017 report, an outlook for remaining half of the year.
Okay, largely for the MPL, really, Wema Bank has demonstrated in the last few years the ability to manage our loan book. Firstly was by ensuring diversity. So a number of the sectors that were affected by the recession, we were not involved. So the power sector loans, the oil and gas upstream loans, foreign currency loans, we didn't have major exposure in those sectors. So for us, we're able to manage our loan book. The outlook is, now that there's better FX availability, we don't see any major change within that space. So we think NPLs will remain around the 5% mark. For the capital adequacy at 12.7 is largely by generating internal capital. And we think the better profitability the bank makes, the better its ability to keep the CAR above the 10% mark. So in terms of guidance, we think NPL will be on or around the 5% mark, where capital adequacy will be above 12% for the short to medium term.
What are the positive takeaways from your half-year 2017 financials?
First and foremost, consistency in terms of earnings delivery. Secondly, stability in terms of performance capabilities and the ratings outlook. So we have a number of rating agencies that felt that Wema Bank is still investment grade and the outlook is stable. So consistency, stability, and then customer acquisition. We've seen our customer numbers grow from average of 1.7 million customers to almost 2 million customers. So in terms of the half-year numbers, those are the three things that I think we can take away.
Fintech is being talked about for the financial services industry, and you have the alert. How does this key into the fintech strategy for Wema Bank?
We view alert really as the fintech of the Nigerian industry. Alert is an end-to-end digital banking application built by developers from fintech, built by developers across the country. So alert was built in Nigeria, built by Nigerians, built for Nigerians. And largely for us, it's a response to what is happening within financial technology, the convergence of digital and banking. And we're actually very pleased that Wema Bank was the leading bank in the forefront of this. From our records, alert is not just the first in Nigeria, but we believe it's the first in Africa.
Finally, outlook for the second half of the year. What strategies are ahead to ensure that you're in top of your game amidst the competition, and what are you also seeing in terms of the overall fiscal environment? Okay.
Our outlook remains one of cautious optimism. We see some gradual improvement in terms of the economic indicators. So as government continues to spend, as government implements the budget, we see some improvement. Now there's better availability of FX, but the key challenge is we expect that oil prices don't go south. So economic outlook, cautious optimism. What are the things that we are doing? Like I mentioned earlier, firstly, remain close to customer. Secondly, use the alert platform for aggressive customer acquisition. And then thirdly, by rendering better service. We see now this customer that have opened their account now improving their average balance. So for us in the second half of 2017 is first and foremost to ensure that the economy grows and to ensure that we continue to grow as a bank. And we think in the last 72 years we weathered the storm. So this is really a small storm that we'll weather. Thank you.
With a capital adequacy ratio of 12.7% and non-performing loan ratio of 4.9%, Wema Bank as a Tier 2 bank is within the regulatory threshold. The focus on retail and service delivery through tech and stability in earnings remain vital amidst a challenging economic environment.